Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video I'm taking a look at the Dominator Extreme D1 side step bars in textured black, fitting 2022 and newer Tundra Crew Max models. If you're on the lookout for a cool and unique set of side steps for your Tundra, then look no further. This set brings a unique style and lots of protection along with plenty of additional access, making them a solid choice for the Tundra that works hard and plays hard. We talk a lot about side steps around these parts, and it's always nice to see a set that brings something a little bit different to the table. And such is the case with these Dominator Extreme D1s. While they take a similar form to the traditional running board, the unique style here is one of the standout features. And these are obviously a full cab length board with a drop down step, but the tubular supports down the bottom and on the sides, plus this thicker section up top here, make these look a bit more like a Nerf bar or a rock slider stylistically. But they function like a regular running board with the wide, long step, giving you plenty of access to your truck's cabin, bed, or even the roof should you need it. And I think they really work well with the Tundra's styling. They're rugged and tough looking, sort of like the truck itself, and they'll look even better if you get it with a lift and some beefier wheels and tires. Beyond looking cool though, these do provide you with better access to the cabin by way of these wide textured steps. The openings here allow for plenty of places for water and debris to escape, making them that much safer and easier to use even in adverse conditions. Now, another cool thing about these is that these are actually designed to be used with or without this textured plate. As you might be able to see, we've got a couple of Allen bolts around the edges here. So you can run these just as the bars or with the step, or change it up should you change your mind later on. Now this chunky section up top that's closest to me also sits pretty close to your rocker panel, and it's got quite a bit of heft to it. So it's gonna give you some added protection out on the street or trail. And despite these dropping down a bit, they don't really impede too much on ground clearance. It's still gonna impact it a bit, of course, because it is a little bit lower, but it's not gonna ruin your breakover angle or negate any clearance completely. And if you do happen to hit them on something, they're sturdy enough to take that hit and keep you moving by way of that large tubular section down here and this thicker section up top. And I think that gives us a nice segue to talk about construction. Now it is all steel here, and you've got that textured black powder coat over top for additional protection. The bracketry is also made of the same materials and finished in the same powder coat, so everything matches really nicely and should all have lots of good protection against rust and corrosion, meaning that these are going to take a beating and they should last you a long time. Pricing comes in around $650, putting them in about the middle of the category. Now there are more expensive and more affordable ones on either end of the spectrum, but these offer you good quality, flexibility, and cool style for a pretty reasonable price. So if you like the look of these, they're going to be a good addition to your build. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter and should take you about 2 hours to complete the job. Now these are a bolt-on part, they don't require you to make any modifications to your truck, and they're going to utilize all your factory side step mounting points, so it is a pretty straightforward install. With that, let's head out to the shop and we'll walk you through it.
For this install, you will need an impact, 12mm and 14mm sockets, and also not shown here is a floor jack or an extra set of hands. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing some side steps on our Tundra, so let's get started. So now we've come under our vehicle and we're at the front of our underside of our truck here towards the driver's side, and we're going to look at these factory placeholder bolts here. We're going to remove these two and install our front mounting bracket first. So we're going to grab our 12mm socket on our impact, remove these, then we'll install our front bracket and go ahead and put those right back in. Our front bracket is going to be the one with the wider two mounting ears, and then our middle and rear are going to look the same with more narrow ears. Go ahead and get this lined up, and you want your mounting tab to be facing the rear of the vehicle. And we're going to snug these back down, but we're not going to fully tighten them yet because we do want some room for any potential adjustments we need to make. And we'll move on to our middle and rear bracket. So next we're going to go ahead and mount our middle bracket. Now it's going to be these two bolts here, and if you're looking at it from kind of directly under the truck, it's going to be right behind where the front and rear door split. So come here, remove these two just like we did with the front bracket, install our middle bracket and put these back in. Again with our 12mm socket on our impact. And again, we'll just snug these down. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing for our rear bracket. So now we're gonna come all the way to the rear 2 bolts here and go ahead and do the same thing we just did. So now that we have our brackets in place, we're going to need to go ahead and put our threaded inserts into our side step before we can mount it. So we're going to grab 3 of our provided inserts. We're going to come right here to the center of our side step. That's the opening for this. We'll go ahead and stick our rear bracket in. We'll slide that back. Now we've got this one in the general area of our rear bracket. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing for our middle and front brackets. Now you notice these threaded inserts have 3 mounting holes in them. So what we're going to do is grab one of our mounting bolts for each of our brackets as placeholders for now. We're going to go ahead and put that 14mm bolt with the lock washer and flat washer into our threaded hole. And that's going to help hold our inserts here and kind of keep them in position while we try and mount these side steps. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Now these don't really need to be tight or anything like that. They're just placeholders, but we'll be able to maneuver our inserts here with this bolt. So we'll do the same thing for our middle and rear insert, and then we can go ahead and get our side step in position. So now we've got a floor jack holding our side step in place. This is going to make things much easier for lining this up, or you can grab an extra set of hands if you have a buddy, but a floor jack will work actually pretty well for this. So now we're going to go ahead and line our mounting brackets up with our threaded inserts. Go ahead and install, again, our 14mm bolt, lock washer and flat washer. So we'll go ahead and get one loosely in place for each of our mounting brackets, and then we can come back and pull the other mounting bolt out of our threaded insert and get those in as well. So now we've got our other bolt that we put in as a placeholder out. We're going to go ahead and install those into our mounting brackets as well. Then we'll do the same thing for our other 2 brackets, and then we'll come back and tighten everything down. So once you've reached this point where you've got all of your hardware loosely in place, you want to go ahead and make any adjustments you want to make to your side step to make sure it's sitting where you want in relation to the front or back of the truck. So we've got ours in position, and we're going to grab our 12mm socket and tighten down our bracket bolts to the body of our vehicle, and then we'll go ahead and tighten down our bracket bolts to the side steps themselves. So we use our 12mm socket on our impact for our body bolts, and then our 14mm socket on our impact for our side step bolts. Then you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other 2 brackets. So now once you have everything done for this side, you can go ahead and repeat these same steps for the other side.
That's going to wrap it up for our review and install of the Dominator Extreme D1 side step bars in textured black, fitting 2022 and newer Tundra Crew Max models. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things Tundra, be sure to keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.